Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Retro Newscast, where I go over the top news of the last week in retro handhelds, retro gaming, and just gaming in general. We're going to do something different this week, and we're going to lead off with an Anbernic story that I think is kind of important, and we're going to put it right up first. Anbernic just released an update for the RG35XXH, and they added something that they're calling Fun PC Ports. Those ports are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge, Celeste, Grand Theft Auto 3, and Stardew Valley. They're using Portmaster to be able to do this on the H. Do you see the issue? Because I do. First, you might be thinking, that's really cool. Those are awesome games, and now they're on the H. But then, if you think about it a little bit further, you're like, how did they get those games on the H? And the answer is it's just pirated copies. And they're using Portmaster to do so, which Portmaster is not meant for that. They are specific about it, the devs are, that it's not meant for piracy. They're meant to play ports of games that you own already. So when you add Celeste, when you add Grand Theft Auto 3, when you add Shredder's Revenge, or any other game that you want to play using Portmaster, you're using your own game files to do so. Anbernic said, no, we'll just include the pirated copies and then you can play them. So first, this is a great way to get Portmaster shut down because if the IP rights holders can't go after Anbernic, which it's kind of difficult given it's a Chinese company, they can easily get after Portmaster and decide to go that route instead. It's the same thing Nintendo did with Yuzu or any other time where they go after the emulator instead of the games because it's so much harder to get the games taken down, but you can get the emulator taken down or whatever it is. So this is not good for Portmaster in one way. Second, we have the fact that these are modern games that are still being sold and legally available pretty much anywhere you want. You can buy these games. It's not a scenario where you want to go and play your favorite NES game and it's not for sale anywhere and the only way you can play it is a eBay copy of the game. This is a different scenario. These are games that you can purchase and play on any system, really, for the most part, and the devs get money for it still. If you go and do this from Anbernic, the devs don't get money. The Stardew Valley devs don't get money from this, neither does Celeste and the other games as well. So you can start to see the issue here. It is a different scenario compared to a game that is not for sale anywhere, not easily available, and all that sort of thing, compared to games that are. Look, I have been on team no ROMs included with these systems forever now. I would rather them never include any SD cards with games on it if I had my way, because it just hurts this community. It hurts the hobby. It's not a good thing. It is a very bad thing. And I like that Retroid doesn't do it. I like that AYN doesn't do it. Although from what I understand, I think Retroid does it in their home country, although I don't know. That's what I've been told. Either way, we shouldn't be including ROMs and games and now even modern games with these handhelds if you want any sort of legitimacy in this niche, this hobby, in the industry, anything like that. It's not a good thing. So they get away with that. They get away with pirated APKs when you have their Android build and they have pirated paid for apps included there. And now we have pirated modern games to add on top of it as well. So yeah, none of this is good. The Anbernic RG Cube just got their first over-the-air update. And you might be thinking, hey, they heard Joey's complaints that there was no over-the-air updates, and now they're going to start updating the 556 and the Cube. And I have to say, this is a massive update. They really did a lot of changes here to the Cube. Like, this is amazing. I'm hoping that this comes to the 556 too, because with all of these changes, we really don't even need Gamma OS anymore. I can't say that with a straight face. They updated the gyroscope to not have issues. So if you were having issues with the gyroscope, I guess it's fixed now, because that was the number one area of complaint that needed fixing for sure. They're just tackling the real issues here. I can't wait for like updated icons or something that really affects my enjoyment. Dolphin is adopting a new release cycle, and it's basically going to be a plan to release every few months a new build with a progress report and changelog. Beta builds are being replaced by releases, and from my understanding of it all, it just helps to simplify everything and it makes it easier for them to do more consistent releases. Jumping over into device news now, and the Magic X team has a new device called the XUHD coming. This has a 4:3 aspect ratio screen. It's 3.2 inches. There's HDMI and there's no Wi-Fi. However, the big news is the resolution is 1024 by 768, and that makes it one of the rare 4:3 aspect ratio devices that is using a resolution higher than 640 by 480. I don't know how good that's going to be on a 3.2-inch screen, but I am all for moving on from 480p. Hopefully, this is a sign of things to come because I would love for Anbernic and other companies to do more 4:3 devices with better resolution and all of that. This one specifically is probably using the RK3326 processor, 3566 at the most, so it's going to cap out at N64 and Dreamcast and all of that. And there's no Wi-Fi, so it's not on my radar at all, but might be for a lot of you depending on the price. If they can nail the landing, there's a pretty good spot for this in the budget market. Just the issue with the XU10s was software. So if they can fix software and maybe make it a little bit easier for custom firmware, then that would be all solved, but we'll see. In case you missed it, the Powkitty V10 is now up for order and you can go and grab one if you want. Looks like it's $35 US. I think that's what I paid if I remember correctly. It shows as 40 and there's like a coupon. So it's pretty cheap. Cheap doesn't always mean good though, because you could just spend a few bucks more and get something better. But if you wanted a cheap Game Boy Advance device, you don't mind that it's a GPSP for emulator is what you're going to use, and it's only 35 bucks, then yeah, grab one. But nothing special here. I don't know. I grabbed one because I want to review it, but I wouldn't have grabbed one if I didn't need to. Controllers might be the most boring accessory by far to me, but Hori is making a Steam controller, and not a Steam controller like we've had in the past. It's just kind of just a Xbox controller with more buttons and all that sort of thing, that same design, but it's going to be Steam branded and made by Hori. So there you go. If my videos have been helping you, consider supporting me on Patreon, or just give this video a like and a sub. You can also come join me on the Discord to talk about all of these retro handhelds. First up in game news, and it's a story that sounds crazy until you think about it a little bit more, but the new Crazy Taxi is going to be open world and massively multiplayer. So I don't know if you remember, but months ago they announced a revival project of Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, and a few other projects for IPs that are older now and haven't had a new game in a while. And this is the first that we've heard of it in a while, at least, from what I can remember. And we're getting some news now on Crazy Taxi, and they're saying that it's going to be open world and multiplayer. And when you think about that, it actually sounds pretty fun, because if you think about the nature of Crazy Taxi, and now you add a whole bunch more of taxis, then it sounds fun to me. I'm imagining just fighting over like a person trying to grab them for cab fare and all of that, and then racing to destinations and having to weave through others, and it sounds fun. They haven't exactly said what it's going to be or how it's all going to work and all that sort of thing, so you can only go by your imagination, but I mean, why not? Try it out. Forza Horizon 4 is being delisted from all stores on December 15th of this year. That means if you don't already own it, you won't be able to purchase it after that date. You will still be able to play it though if you do own it. And Microsoft is giving the base game away if you're a Game Pass subscriber and you've bought any of the DLC for it. So you'll get it for free. But otherwise, I think it was $10 or something on Steam and elsewhere if you want to buy the game and hold it forever. But the reason it's being delisted is because of licensing agreements, and I have to imagine that's a lot of either the cars or the music or both. Look, this kind of sucks. I don't like it. I mean, I get why it has to happen and the licensing agreements and all that. It can't be forever, but it still sucks to not be able to purchase it after the fact. So it kind of puts you in a position where if you ever think you want to play Forza Horizon 4 in the future, you kind of have to buy it now and hope that you are going to play it, or just play it now. It's a great game. I love Forza Horizon and the series, and 4 is awesome. But if you weren't at all interested in it and you become interested in it in like 3 years, then you're kind of screwed unless you want to go and buy a physical copy and try and play it that way. But either way, if you think you might be interested in it, maybe just shell out the money and grab it. They're fantastic games either way. You likely didn't need me to tell you this, but the Steam summer sale is going on right now, and it might be the first summer sale or Steam sale that I really haven't bought anything in. I tried looking, couldn't find anything. So I'm curious, let me know in the comments, did you find anything to purchase? The last one I went a little bit ham on, and this one couldn't find really any good deals. It seems like it's the usual deals that keeps happening every single time and it doesn't really change or get better. So I'm curious, what did you buy, if anything, or maybe you're like me and you didn't grab anything? Last on our game news now, and it's for Elden Ring fans, and Shadow of the Erd Tree, I guess that's how you say it, doesn't matter, has sold over 5 million copies so far, which is a pretty real good accomplishment for a DLC. But congratulations to them and anybody who likes Elden Ring. By the way, did I miss a topic that you want to hear discussed? Top comment with the words newscast topic will be featured on next week's show. That's all from me, Chicago.